So, grief has been on my mind for a while. Last couple of days. Uh, Yesterday was my dad's birthday. He would have been 79. And I just been feeling like I can't breathe. Like I am extremely sad, but I'm also extremely angry. There's so much I want to talk about, and I feel like I can't. You know, it's crazy because when my mom passed away, we're coming up on almost 20 years ago. And I just turned 28. And now this year I'm going to be 48. And I don't know, losing both your parents and being a person that's mid to late 40s or getting older, it just messes with my anxiety. It messes with my fear of death because I have a big one. And I just got into Googling a lot in the last couple of months, and I guess there's a possible condition where some people with ADHD have a big fear of death. Because I have all these like different things about me, and I just was like looking it up and trying to see if there's a correlation. Anyway. Well, let's just say relationships with parents, relationship with family is always complicated. Right? That's the line we can say in front of other people. It's just complicated. Or we just ignore things and pretend everything's great. I've never been good at that kind of stuff. There's a lot of pain. I'll find a way to talk about it. I'll find a way to work through it. Because I've tried reaching out, and some people on the other side don't really want to grieve with me. They want to be by themselves. I'm trying to respect that, but it also hurts. Because I just feel abandoned again. And ignored again. And I just feel like no one in my family really loved me the way I wanted to be loved. Or needed to. Anyways, that's probably a tough thing to say. So I grieve, but it's kind of a grief that's just held inside of me because it's not really just about the grief of a parent passing away. It's also about the hardship of the aftermath of dealing with that with a sibling. And anybody is out there who has siblings, you know, sometimes you don't agree about how you want to do stuff, or things just end up lopsided. Parents have favorites. So, anyway. It's tough. And I put that together with time and feeling as I age and get older, I feel slower, I feel more tired, I feel everything's just harder to do. Every time I get closer to my cycle starting, which by the way has been a thing since I hit puberty, but it just seems more apparent, I guess. I've always had this heaviness, I've always had this chronic fatigue. I've always been a person who was highly sensitive and felt things greatly and wasn't really understood by many. So it's a lot of stuff just like stuck inside of me, you know, like just people like me, just we feel so much. So like whatever the energy is in the world or in our community or in our family, it just hits us harder. Or not harder, but it like stays in us for a longer period of time. We're definitely people who hold on to more, and that's why we have gut issues and stress issues and anxiety issues and nervous system issues, and take your pick. Anyway, and I thought it was just all environmental mostly. You know, the way you pick up things from the way you're raised in a family for so long, but my daughter's a lot like it, and she hasn't had to deal with much family trauma. Our household is nothing like the household I grew up in. So it just shows that a good chunk is genetic. And I think previous generations just kind of ignored it, you know, had to be a certain way, had to pretend everything was perfectly fine and be strong and not admit to anything being difficult. Yeah. That's unfortunate, because I cannot be that person who pretends. If it's hard, I'm going to tell you, unfortunately. And I'm just wondering if the world just makes it harder, society makes it harder. Anyway. So now we're on the precipice of daylight savings time. And I don't know who the person was who decided to move that up more, because technically this weekend is not the start of spring. Nope. Not for like several weeks. And when I was a kid, it used to be in April. But we decided we needed more time. I didn't decide this, and I doubt many regular citizens did. But then again, I'm a person who's like barely 5'2", and the world is not built for me. Everything is too high and hard to get to. Car doors are heavy and always hit against me. Heck, earlier today at school, I was banging my knee on a chair. I just, and I think that some of that could be ADHD, Some people with ADHD are prone to like more twists of ankles and falls and clumsiness, and I think it's the proprioceptive part of your brain. So that's fun. All these things about yourself you can't control, and they're just a part of you. And all these things you wish, these connections you wish you had with a parent, or, forgiveness or understanding. And in the end, all you really get is a feeling of being cut off, a feeling of one being picked over the other when it comes to siblings. And, trying to do better, because when you're the siblings that are left and your parents are gone, you can follow the wishes of a parent, but should you follow them if they're destructive? Should you follow them if they hurt the relationship of those two siblings? I don't get people. I just don't get it. And that's another thing in the long line of my life of like me being like, what are you doing? This is what makes sense. We got to do what's right. And other people going, I don't know what you're talking about. And turning it back on you and making it seem like you're the one causing the problem. Yeah, I had a lot of that growing up too. Anyway. You can't stop time. You can try to grieve, but even that is muddled because not everyone can grieve properly. Not everyone had a relationship with a parent that ended well. Some people get cut out of people's lives. From the grave, they get ignored. They get passed by for someone else. And if you think that's not going to hurt and sting for the rest of that other person's life, that child who's your grown child adult now. You're wrong.